Hello, so it's a rainy day, or a grey day at the very least, and I've just got in my car, which is a very fancy Opel Astra, and I am just about to drive to near Bonn, where I am going to meet Wolfgang, and we're going to play some Kings of War. We're going to see the venue where the first ever Germany GT is held, and we're going to have a little chat and hopefully have some fun, and off we go. And it is 133 kilometres door to door. Let's go. So I'm pretty confident I've arrived, and I've just realised I played an Age of Sigmar tournament here, doubles tournament, a couple of years ago. So it looks weirdly familiar. But yeah, so we're in St. Augustine, and it seems to be a nice little town, although this is a bit more sort of built up here, but it's plenty nice enough. And we're kind of on the edge of the Ruhr region, which is the most densely populated area of Germany, and it's where all the industry is. And I always kind of think it'll be like Blade Runner, but there's a lot more forest than Blade Runner, which is really nice. So yeah, so I've arrived, and I've been here before, I think I'm parked in the right place. So yeah, I'm going to go and investigate. That's filming. Perfect. So I'm Chris, and I'm with Wolfgang.
Hi.
So we have 3 weeks until the first ever Germany Kings of War GT, which is very exciting. So I've come in a little bit early to meet Wolfgang, and I've realised I've actually been at this club a couple of years ago to play a Age of Sigmar doubles tournament, so it's really nice. So there's a guy called David who's here today, who I've met before, and he's a really nice bloke, and it's a lovely little club. So we're with Wolfgang, obviously. Can you maybe tell us a little bit about how you got into gaming, how long you've been in gaming?
Yes, sure. I started gaming at the age of 28, which is now 21 years ago. Started with Warhammer Fantasy, and stick to this game nearly until the end.
Interesting.
When this game ended, I searched for some other games. I checked Age of Sigmar, I checked the Ninth Age, and I ended with Kings of War, which I'm glad to be.
So what was it about Kings of War instead of Ninth Age or some of the others that grabbed you?
For me, it was a mix of the look of mass army battles and a clean and proper rule set. It gives me the possibility to have a quick game without too many discussions, almost no discussions at all, which gives me again the opportunity to play this game not only with close friends or family, but with complete strangers from other locations, other mindsets, other clubs, and have the same proper game with them too. It's
Fantastic, fantastic. Did you try Age of Sigmar at all?
Yes, I did.
Not for you.
No.
Moving on.
It has its strengths, but none of the two that are important to me.
Yeah, fair enough. I actually played the Goblins, the Gloomspite Gits, and I had a block of 60 stabbers or whatever, and I found it so stressful because you can't really use a movement tray. So then you have to move 60 goblins, and I found that incredibly stressful. It just doesn't quite work, and then you've got to work out the stabbers and the nets and things like this. I found that really stressful. So it should be theoretically a skirmish game, but it's that in that sense it's kind of the worst of all worlds, I think.
Yes, it's a mass battle with single base.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, and more complicated rules than you might like.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not very balanced. I played Dispossessed against the Legions of Nagash. It was my last game.
Fair enough.
short game.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think for me, definitely the balance of Kings of War. Not all of the factions are exactly as good as each other, but it's not chess. It's more complicated, so that's really hard. But at least they intend for the game to be balanced. That's the idea. Whereas Games Workshop, I'm not so sure that's necessarily true.
Yes, for myself, I doubt that perfect balance is possible
With a game so
for-
complicated, yeah,
Yes, but,
I agree.
But Kings of War is close enough to the point where it's not too
Important.
not too important, not in the
Yeah.
disadvantage too big
Yeah.
to avoid certain armies.
Absolutely. I mean, it was. I'll stop talking about Age of Sigmar in a second. It was actually on this table here when I played the AOS tournament, and it was me and my friend. I think he had an undead. I forgot what they're called, the ghosty ones. And I had my Legion of Asgore Chaos Dwarves, and we played against the Ideneth Eels and something else, and we just got completely smashed. It was so obvious from the start. We had no chance to win the game, and it was just a depressing. They were so much more powerful than we were, so that wasn't fun. But
There is no army of the day or of the season in Kings of War. There are certain ones that are considered a bit better than the others. I'd say undead, maybe elves, but the differences in the performance of these factions is not too big.
yeah, if you're good at the game, you're going to have a good chance of winning.
Yes.
And which edition did you start with for Kings of War?
I bought the first edition, but never met a player here around here. Then let me say, 2016, I found out that there was a tournament here in this region, or effectively in this club, which I heard never before. And I said to myself, why not start again? I lost my last Warhammer mate shortly before he broke up altogether, ended the hobby altogether, and I needed a new game. And I started the Abyssal Dwarfs some time ago. They were planned to be Chaos Dwarfs proxies for Warhammer Fantasy. So I asked myself, why not finish this army for Kings of War? Why not put myself under the pressure to finish the army and learn the game and meet the guys and take part on that tournament. So I did. I registered, I booked a ticket, and they got in touch with me. Told me there was a group here around the club. They were searching for players. They asked whether I'd fancy to join the group or not, and I said yes.
Do you live very close to here?
Yes, 25 kilometers.
Oh, perfect. Oh, there you go. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons I'm doing the video and everything is that I really just want to grow the game, particularly where I live. I just want to play games and have people to play with. So it's obviously very important.
Yes, it's more easy in a metropolitan region like here between Köln, Bonn, Düsseldorf. There are nearly 3 million people.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can meet people who play almost every system.
Fantastic.
Think of not only 40k, not only Warhammer, Age of Sigmar. Those players you can find anywhere. But here are so many people. You can find even some who will be able to give you an epic game or
Wow, okay.
Warzone Resurrection. I saw once. Other games.
Fantastic. And when did you decide to go from being a player to organising a tournament?
It was quite a process. I joined the group then I joined the club here. And as a member of the club, I supported the organizers of the tournaments. The two, Daniel and Gregor, decided to take a step back because of small children and asked me if I can take the job. And I said, well, then I take it.
Fantastic. And how do you find it? Do you enjoy the challenge of organising a tournament? There's some.
Yes,
Oh, fantastic.
It's very much what fits me best, I think.
Fantastic.
I like to paint, I like to play, but I think I may be a better organizer than I play on myself.
Excellent. Very German.
We
Fantastic.
have good players too.
And so how many players do we have for the tournament next month?
We're now at 26. We had to reduce the capacity because of the COVID-19. We have now fixed distances. We have to wear masks. That limited the capacity to 34. In the process of that, we had some dropouts and others who were not comfortable with that all and decided to stay home for personal reasons, for medical reasons, for whatever reasons. Some dropouts would be normal. This were 12. And I think it's almost completely because of the COVID-19 situation. Wouldn't we have this situation? I'm sure we would be around 36, 40
But
players.
it's still really good numbers. Even with
Yes.
COVID, it's really good numbers. And I was really impressed how seriously you're taking the COVID, and you'd obviously thought it through very well with what's possible, what's safe. And as you said, you let people decide, do they feel comfortable in their personal situation with family, with them, with their own personal health, etc.
That's Selbstverständlichkeit.
Yeah, it's self. Coming from someone's self, basically. Yeah.
Yes. I don't want to push. I cannot, and I don't want to put pressure on our community.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the false way. I hope to see more of them next year. Some of them who dropped out even donated their tickets.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's
Fantastic.
great for the community.
And one question I forgot to ask, which armies do you play? So you had Chaos Dwarves, so Abyssal Dwarves.
Yes. Usually I paint one army a year. Since I started Kings of War, it had been the episode Dwarves, the Forces of the Abyss, Forces of Nature, the Northern Alliance, and this year it was the Sylvan army.
So I was going to take Northern Alliance with me. That was the first army I did, and then straight into Elves. Particularly with the lockdown, I found doing the whole army so fun. I did Elves, and then I thought I could do some Sylvan. There's some units that cross over. Did a whole army of that. Now my Twilight Kin as well. I also did Undead because I just had loads of models hanging around. I thought, yeah, why not? But I don't think I'll play them because I don't think they're really my play style. And super. And if you could ask the rules committee anything, what would you ask them? I've really put you on the spot with that one.
What are your plans with war engines?
I would think something similar, because like stealthy, they've kind of nerfed shooting, but magic is kind of quite similar, and war engines, it's in a slightly awkward place, I think.
Some war engines are very effective for the price, and they already said that with the next Clash of Kings book, they would be able for the first time to change the price point of some units. Not only the rules, but the deadline and the price too. And I think it hurts to say, but the larger water of the episode box is very, very good for the price. And I wouldn't be surprised if the price would be risen.
Do you think they could do something, and haven't thought this through, something like you can only take one per army or something like that? Do you think there'd be some merit in that?
Of course.
So that it's not mass fire?
Yes. And maybe the limit the use of engines to non-allied only. Because I have seen several times this brought a force war machine of the same type via allied contingent.
Yeah, that sounds pretty brutal. Yeah, fantastic. I'm pretty sure that's everything I wanted to ask. And thank you so much for taking the time. I know it's a bit weird I turn up with a camera and say, hey, can I film some stuff? But Wolfgang, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.